Hello, hello, everyone. We're back with another episode of Launch Codes Football after a quick 2 week hiatus. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Chelsea, and the season went from being really boring to really exciting in the span of like 3 hours today.
Oh my god, we were just talking about like this weekend and literally early this morning. Like, I guess we can do like talk about the schedule, like the schedule drop when we were away. Yeah, that's a pretty good episode. Hey, what's happening on my phone? Oh my goodness, everything's happening. Everything's exploding.
I know I was at work. Daniel texted me. He was like, Miles. And I was like, Miles, what?
And then an hour later, AJ Brown also. And then after that, the Giants are signing every old receiver. like
And then before that, it was Odell Beckham Jr. Yeah, lots to get into.
Oh man, this episode was this is gonna be a fun episode. So yeah, let's just start with the biggest news and the biggest elephant in the room. The Rams did it again. They're going all in for another Super Bowl run. They just traded for Myles Garrett for Jared Verse, who a good back-to-back Pro Bowl young player, a first round pick in 2027, a second rounder in 2028, and a third in 2029. So yeah, the Rams are just playing the whole playbook from a few years back of just let's go all in, let's bleep them picks. They showed this thing where the past decade the Rams have had only three number one first round picks, and they've all been traded. They've all been traded at some point. It was like Jared Goff, Jared Buzz. I forgot the other person, but they just gotten rid. They don't care about first round picks. They don't care about anything. They just want stars, baby.
Right. Yeah, honestly, if it was any other team who did this, I'd be like, whoo, that's tough giving away that much draft capital. But honestly, for it being the Rams, is kind of their MO at this point. I mean, a lot of fans are probably thinking, well, they did this once. They finally made it through, all of the picks they lost. Why would they do it again?
It
Well,
worked.
the reason they're doing it again is because it's the one team it actually worked for. I think if they had done it in the past and it hadn't worked out and they had not gotten a Super Bowl, I think it would be a different conversation. But since they saw it work and they have the same front office in place, they have the same head coach in place, I would argue that actually have a very underrated defense, even with people figuring out how good they were. I don't think anyone saw this coming this quickly, especially after, the retirement of Aaron Donald. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, honestly, I really wasn't that surprised. That should just tell you all you need to know about the frequency that the Rams do crazy picks like this. And you got to give credit to that Rams front office because I read an article today that was just talking about how the Rams were just insistent. They just kept asking. They tried to do it at the draft. They got told no. Tried to do it after the draft. Got told no. And then they did some restructuring on the Browns end of some, I think it was like bonuses or something like that, part of Myles Garrett's contract before this deadline. Which, when that happens, that usually makes it easier to trade. So they were persistent and it paid off. And did they give up Jared Verse, who I think is a really, really good young
Yeah.
defensive lineman? Yes, but they have three really, really good young defensive linemen, and they're not going to be able to extend all of them. So they were going to have to get rid of one. And if you can flip one for what, probably
The best
1.5 to
player.
3 good more years of Myles Garrett in a Super Bowl window where you still have Matthew Stafford, who overcame his injury woes, and you still have Cooper Cup and you have Puka Nakua and or not Cooper Cup, you have Devontae Adams and
yeah.
Puka Nakua, and you have all those stars that they have. I mean, why not? I mean, if it doesn't work out, you probably wouldn't have been able to extend all three of their young linemen anyway. You probably would have lost one for nothing regardless. So, I mean, flip him and see what you can get out of Myles Garrett. There's kind of a, I think, contingent of NFL fans that are wondering if he's going to start declining soon, which I don't think is unreasonable. I mean, he is in his late 20s. I mean, does play a very demanding position physically, but after seeing what he did last year on a terrible team, my goodness, I can't imagine what he's going to do on this year on an actual good defense where they have other players to worry about besides him. I mean, it's going to be pretty crazy. I mean, I think I saw a headline that like his goal was to break 30 sacks this year. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that's ambition.
It's not my problem anymore after a decade in the AFC
You're
East.
probably ecstatic, honestly.
Oh, the trade was so. I was like, I can't believe this happened. Then I'm also thinking, oh my goodness, I don't have to see Miles Garrett twice a year anymore. This is amazing. And the fact is, the Rams. they traded for Trent McDuffie earlier this year. They
which
traded
was
for
also a good trade.
it's like it's all in. It's like them, the
Yep.
Dodgers. It's just one of those situations. The LA teams, they said we want stars, we want
They also
dynasty.
got the other cornerback from the Chiefs as well. I know they traded for McDuffie, but they signed another one as well. I mean, they basically redid their entire secondary in one offseason without really using the draft, I might add, which is
No,
kind of crazy in this
which
day and age. But
which is now going to a thing that I think we kind of flip it. I think you talked about it in the chat BBC or BCC. I forgot which one it's called. Um,
yeah, BCC.
I was not high on them drafting Ty Simpson in the first round. And I
Me
think
either.
you were, yeah, you weren't either. I'm a little more. I can now understand it a little more after this deal is done because
See,
here,
I'm on the other end of things, but
but my
that's
th-
interesting. Go
because
ahead.
my thing is, you don't make this deal unless you're thinking Stafford has probably 1 or 2 more years left in them because this is literally an all in push. And now that you're trading away someone in your first rounders, you're also thinking, I mean, they're going to be competing now, obviously, for titles. They're going to be mid to late 20s to early 30s pick. If even if they have first round pick, but they don't anymore. They want to build a quarterback. They want to have the guy in charge for the future. My thing before was that you're wasting a first round draft pick on someone who's not going to be able to play instead of like a top tier defensive lineman or a top tier cornerback because their problem last year with them was their secondary guy exposed late in the season. You got Myles Garrett on your front line now. You don't have to worry about your secondary. It's hard. I forgot the old who said it. You can't throw the football when you're flat on your back.
It might have
So
been you that said that, honestly.
I think that might have been from something from the about the 85 Bears or the 46 defense back in the day. But just like, yeah, you can't throw the football when it's hard to throw a football when you're flat in the back. And
Yeah.
I just feel bad for Sam Darnold and Brock Purdy and whoever the Cardinals quarterbacks
Jacoby
in.
Brissett is holding out, apparently,
He's
by the
not,
way.
he's just like, know what? Oh,
Carson Beck might be starting for that team.
I know like the image, like, okay, Jacoby, we finally got a deal done. The news breakdown. I'm going to need a little more money. I'm going back home. I'm not dealing with Myles Garrett.
Feel like it's like the SpongeBob meme. Come on, old man, it's okay. And they walk him back to the retirement home. That's gonna
um,
be Jacoby Brissett. But no, see, I actually have a bit of a different opinion on this. I didn't like the pick when it was taken because I just thought they had bigger needs. I really don't like the pick now because if you're going all in like this, that tells me that they are anticipating multiple years of Matthew Stafford. You know, I think when the draft rolled around, we were wondering if maybe it was going to be only one more year. You know, we thought for a second, you know, after the Super Bowl that maybe he was going to retire because he won, you know, and it's like
yeah.
or he didn't win, but he got close, you know, and I think there was like a small thought that was like, well, maybe he'll retire now, doesn't want to, do the whole thing again, but what this tells me is, hey, like they probably think he has, 2, 3, 4 more years under his
Oh,
belt. If you're
really?
going out and getting someone like Myles Garrett, if that's the case, I understand the argument for taking a quarterback like to nurture, while Stafford is still playing. But if you were going to do this all along, like why not beef up another area of your team? If you're win now, it makes no sense to take a quarterback for the future if you're win now. Like if you're win now, take a linebacker, take a safety, take a corner. Like I see the argument, but I think it looks worse now. And Ty Simpson's probably thinking, "Well, boys, I'm not going to be playing for 3 years. It was nice knowing you because you'll probably be off the team by the time I start."
You see, I kind of disagree. 'Cause I think the fact they all win now, I think Stafford probably has at most 2 years now because you're going to eventually have to pay the piper. That's the thing about the Rams. They always get all these contracts. Garrett's what the best like 4 years, 116, 160 last year. You're going to have to pay. They just signed Stafford like a 1 year extension worth a bunch. You're going to have to start like either these players have to be traded away like they did back in the day with Jalen Ramsey and stuff, or they go like in terms of Stafford go retire. I
Do
can
they have their 2028 first round pick?
I don't think they have any first round picks at this point. That's why my thought was my house is like they know like we're not gonna get like there's not gonna
I see
be
the argument.
it's
Yeah.
good. I don't see them getting like a Dak Prescott. It's like a Dak Prescott's kind of rare where you get a top tier not top tier, but a really good quarterback in day 2, day 3. You're let's get someone now, sit by him for about 2 years. Because honestly, if the Rams win Super Bowl this year, I can see Stafford just like I'm done. Like I'm going out as a champion. I'm going out like Elway and Manning. like walk away, and then you have Simpson come in, or even like again, I think 2 years is probably the max for Stafford. I can see them doing like he can be a Philip Rivers type, sit
Maybe
behind
they're just
for two
playing
years.
4D chess and I'm just not thinking about it that way. It doesn't make sense for me for them to take a pick regarding their future and then to do this and go all in on the present. For me, if you're going to go all in on the present, I think you should either commit fully or don't do it.
No, that's
Like
fair. That's
they
fair.
should have taken, the top corner. They could have traded up and got the guy who where did he go? Did he go to the Giant?
Oh,
No, the Titans.
Caleb
Yeah,
Downs. What?
Cowboys. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, they could have traded up and got him and then traded for Myles Garrett, and the whole league would have been, quivering in fear. So, like I said,
just
I see the argument, like why they would do it, because they're not going to have a first unless they trade players for draft capital. They're not going to
yeah.
have one. But at the same time, I feel like you can't just stick one foot in the water if you're going to go all in and do this. Like, you got to commit. That's just me, though.
It's just like the only thing, the only thing stopping the Rams from at least making the Super Bowl is Stafford's back and Puka's off the field. And that's the only thing stopping
And
them.
Sam Darnold.
Sam Sam Darnold's about to be seeing a lot of ghosts. He's about to see. He's going to be Ghostbusters too. He's going to
That's
see.
still a trope. Bro just won the Super Bowl. Come
He
on
no,
now.
no he's it's not trouble anymore after he won Super Bowl. But if he doesn't, if Myles Garrett sacks him 4 or 5 times in their first matchup, because they're going to devise a game plan of just like Miles sees red, gets to get Darnold.
Hey,
Man,
well,
this
I can think of one guy who's happy. Aaron Rodgers. He's like, yippee, I don't have to run around on one leg anymore. This is awesome.
he can't jump that high. He can't go yippee! Oh my hip.
Oh,
One
same
person
with Joe Burrow, I guess. Yippee, my big toe. No.
and somehow well, I think the Garrett trade is probably the biggest trade. And the second biggest trade, one that's been talked about for months now. And you know what? I guess redemption for Diana Rossini because she's been talking about this too. AJ Brown is now a Patriot. I just wanted to say that. The Patriots trade away next year's 2027's fifth and the 2028 first.
They really
But
are deferring these payments like college loan interest payments during COVID. They're like, we'll give you a first, but we'll do it
uh,
2.5 years from now.
no, that is not even the NBA is so much. The NBA is like, oh, we'll give you a
I mean,
first
that's true. It
30,
just,
35.
I feel like for the NFL though, normally it's this year or the year after, and it's
Yeah.
just kind of funny that it's like I know technically we're in the 2026, 2027 season now, but
Yeah.
it's just funny seeing it more than 1 or 2 years in advance. I feel like that doesn't happen that often, at least not in football. Now in basketball, yeah, they be trading like 2032 first round picks, and I'm like, what does this impact?
It's insane.
But
They're trading first round picks. Like the guy who's going first of all is like 5 right now.
be like, he's still being born actually, but trust me, 18 years from now, we got you.
So yeah, the Patriots they got. I'll still say AJ Brown's probably a top 10 to top 12 receiver. I think
Yeah,
in
I'd
that
say top 15 probably.
I think once he's going to be he's getting an offense that's going to be a lot more efficient than the Eagles was last year. I
Yeah.
think he still have some is Donald not Donald Donald. That got me thinking about the other quarterback Drake May. He finally has a top tier pass catcher. Like I think this
Yep,
is
he needed this.
I think this is it's one of the things that we knew the Eagles divorce was happening. It was just a question of when, not if. It's finally happened. Everyone can walk their separate ways. Like the Eagles got, oh my goodness, the Eagles got speaking of receiver Makai Lemon. I'm still mad about that.
He's still mad about that, if you guys couldn't tell.
Yeah, you got essentially his replacement should be in Pittsburgh. The Patriots got their replacement for Diggs, which is a better version of Diggs, honestly, over AJ Brown. So I guess everyone walks away happy. The Eagles also get like some draft capital. You can use it on potentially to boost up the O line or even boost up like I don't know. I guess potentially Saquon's replacement because Saquon's probably going to get up to an eight. This is
Honestly, for a hot
good
second,
trade.
I
It's a
didn't
good
think
trade.
that this was going to happen. With all that stuff
Really?
going on with Vrabel and Rossini and how the ownership was taking heat and all this stuff, and there were not, big talks, but, some whispers. Is Mike Vrabel going to get fired because of all of this? Which, like, at the end of the day, did we actually think he was going to get fired? Unfortunately, no, even though I really think he should have. I
I also
think
I kind of
everyone kind of knew that he wasn't going to.
I
So
honestly thought it was a coin flip.
for a hot second, I was like, Like, I wonder if this is gonna actually be a thing. I mean, it still wasn't surprising to me that it happened, but I did wonder for like a week or two. Like, I wonder like if they're gonna do anything. Like, if it's just gonna be, Diana Rossini who is stepping back from her job, or if Vrabel is gonna pay the consequence as well. And naturally, nothing happened because, he's an NFL head coach, and apparently he's immune to these kinds of things, even though I personally think they should have both been fired, but I'm just a girl and not an NFL head coach. So, what do I know? But it's a
Yeah.
good trade. I mean, the Patriots really needed a bona fide wide receiver one. Um, he was clearly unhappy with the Eagles. They didn't want to keep him. Howie Roseman, arguably the best football, flipped him for a first round pick and an additional pick. So, I mean, if you're an Eagles fan, you got a first, even though it's not for a couple of years, you're probably still pretty happy,
Yeah.
along with the additional compensation, which, you could flip in a trade to trade up into the fourth or the third or something like that, in next year's draft. So yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good for both sides. I think the Eagles will be fine without him, and I think the Patriots really need him. And I'll be interested to see what that offense looks like with him in the fold because I think that really opens up the field for that Patriots offense. But time will tell, I suppose.
Yeah, I think because Browns are very much he likes going down the field. He likes physical receivers, and Drake May has a lot of gunslinger in him. He has a lot of like the it's for lack of better. He's had a lot of Stafford in him, like similar Stafford early in his career. And I guess they're hoping AJ could be like a lesser version of Megatron potentially. Um, I think I want to talk about in terms of, like the draft capital in terms because I thought Myles Garrett he went for a first, a second, and a third. I'm
Thought he'd
surprised. I thought you'd go for more because was
I
it
mean, a
Mike?
player was included. A player was
That's
included. So I
that's
mean,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
and in fairness, he's only a couple of years removed from being drafted. So you could argue that he's basically, you know,
Two first.
essentially a brand new first round pick. He almost has no wear on his tires, basically. I did think they'd get multiple firsts for him along with some kind of player. So I was surprised that they didn't. But I mean, I still think they got a lot considering, his age. I mean, it's not like he's, 24. I mean, he's, nearing 30, if not 30 already. He's going to decline eventually. I
Yeah,
mean, that's just the nature of football and especially the nature of his position with it being so physical. So,
yeah. I think in terms going to the AJ Brown deal, that's about what you expect for like a receiver. His quality, a first and like a day three pick and a day one pick. So
yeah, I felt like the comps, I felt like it was pretty reasonable. Like I said, it wouldn't have shocked me if Myles Garrett got two firsts. Um, but, I think it's funny. They spaced all the picks out. They were like, okay, hear us out. We'll give you a 2027 first, a 2028 second, and a 2029 third, all in the same year. Mm-mm. We're deferring. Thank you.
we're not gonna have like
I just thought that was funny. I was like, we can't like put them all in the same year. Like, if you're really gonna commit, I mean, have no draft picks. You know what I mean?
oh you can't go full you can't
Be
go
like,
full
our
rookie.
first draft pick is in round 4.
I said you can't go full Wiki Williams back in the day when they could trade the entire Saints draft for a running back. You can't.
Oh man,
You would immediately get fired even before the draft if you ever think about doing that.
fair point. Fair point.
But so yeah, so it's crazy because these are the big two deals, and like the Giants on the side, like we're doing something too.
They're
They
like, hey, over here.
they signed three receivers. They signed Juju Smith-Schuster, Braxton Berrios, and they bring back OBJ.
Oh man,
And like
throwback.
I feel bad because I think OBJ his first 3-4 years, he's like, oh, this is like a top tier Hall of Fame receiver, and then injuries just killed him. Like I think he tore his ACL twice.
And he was being an idiot.
Uh, I, he okay. he was
Perhaps
being
not as much as of an idiot as other people, but he still wasn't being particularly smart.
no, yeah, he wasn't exactly. He was your typical old school diva receiver during his time in New York. He definitely was. And I think he calmed down a little after he left because I know definitely in Cleveland he seemed to calm down a lot more. And then he went to Los Angeles with the Rams. He was a lot better. So I think he matured. I'll say this. He came in like a
Or he's
firework.
at least giving the impression he's matured.
He came in like a. He's giving the impression that like I don't have much in me anymore. Unfortunately, he's in his early 30s. He didn't have a good stop in the Ravens and the Dolphins at this point, so he's just like, let's just help, just be like the veteran now. My big
I do think it's interesting though. The guys that they signed, Debo Samuel is still available. as a free agent option. And looking at the guys that they signed, I don't know about you, but me personally, I would take Debo Samuel over all three of those guys. So it makes me wonder, just on like a tiny aside, why that is, like why he's still a free agent, if there's like injury concerns or something. But I mean, they did lose receivers in free agency. I mean, they lost what's his face to the
Wandell
Titans.
Wandell Robinson.
Yeah, and that
And
was a big loss for them because he was what? He was 1,000 yard receiver last year, wasn't he?
yeah, he was
Or like
well.
900, something
No,
like that.
no, he was 1,000. Because I remember
Yeah.
Massey kept saying he's now the smallest player because he's 5'7" to get 1,000 yards in a season. I'm like, okay, you guys
Hey,
still
respect to the small guys.
the short
Not
kings.
everyone can be 6'6". But yeah, it
Yeah,
makes me wonder. But I mean, they definitely beefed up their depth. I know you said in our group chat, in our chat BCC with the followers earlier, that this is giving you shades of Malik Neighbors is not healthy yet.
no, like there's been reports about him. He's had multiple surgeries because I guess the first surgery didn't do the entire job. The other receiver on the team is Darius Slayton. He has like a core problem with, I'm not sure how serious it is, but your number one, number two receivers aren't playing. You had the whole thing with the quarterback and Abdul Carter last week. So, and this is still a very young quarterback too, and that's the thing. Jackson Dart is a very young quarterback. You need to have good pass catchers around him to be able to be productive. And so I guess you're thinking, okay, we'll just put the veterans in there. Hopefully they'll know what to do. But it's not like if the Giants are going to the season with any of these three receivers as their number one or number two receiver, any chance of any improvement for to me with Dart or that team is not gonna happen because you definitely have to have neighbors there. If you don't have neighbors, at least Slayton can be a somewhat productive receiver. There's a reason why Schuster, Juju, like Berrios, and OBJ was still in free agency. I do agree with you. I think Debo's better than all of them. Maybe Debo was asking for money. Maybe Debo's just waiting for a better situation. I see Debo just like I'm just gonna
I
wait.
wouldn't mind the Colts signing him. I've seen us as the top pitched place for him, actually. I wouldn't mind that. But it just begs the question, like, I wonder why they didn't. Like, these guys are good depth pieces, but I mean, it's not like at this point in their careers, there's someone that I want to run out on the field, 50 times a game.
Yeah, this
But at this rate, that's what's going to happen. Maybe they'll split them and it'll be like 25, 25, and like 15 or something. Maybe they'll like even it out. I don't know.
maybe they're just gonna give the ball to Camp Scabu. Maybe just full running team. It's gonna be old school football. We're gonna throw it 15 times a game.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, they needed depth. Um, and I don't think these guys are bad options, but like you said, makes you wonder about neighbors. I would say if I were to make a projection that based off of their actions right now, that it is probably pretty likely that he does not play week one. Now, I don't think that means he misses like, the first 4 or 6 games of the
Yeah,
season, but I don't think that they showed this kind of urgency. Might I add, all in the same day, which is a
yeah.
little funny, if there was not something going on.
So, and I guess another part of the Giants team, they don't have a. Well, I'm not. No, they still have Winston as a backup, but Russell Wilson is not officially retired, but he just took a job with CBS. So, yes,
Is Russell
what?
Wilson
Yeah,
eating the W?
I was gonna say, why you put up the West sign
No,
like you're
he's
Tupac?
eating the W like Jameis.
I said,
I
okay,
hope Russell pulls that on national TV. I'm sure Jameis would be totally into that.
he'll be coy enough to do that. And so I guess
Yeah.
this is the end of. I'm not gonna say it's the end because technically he's
It's
hasn't.
the end.
Okay, then he hasn't announced his retirement technically, but you're taking a job with CBS,
It's
so
the end.
you just
It's over. It is, as they would say, it is Joe over.
it's you ran a good race, kid. So
He
I'm happy.
did.
Yeah, like it's gonna be interesting his Hall of Fame case in about 5-6 years. Like he's definitely on the borderline. Like if it's just the first 10 years, he's definitely in. The last few years weren't looking pretty, but
Yeah, especially when they swung that huge trade up in Denver and that just did not work at all.
Sean Payton wanted to kick him out that team so fast.
That was a bad trade looking back on it.
And somehow Denver was still able to make out just because of the fact that they got. Yeah, I don't know how the heck Denver was able to make out like
I
that.
know. I know. That was a bad trade for them and they still came out looking relatively good. So,
It was,
more power to their front office, I guess.
it
The
was.
power of John Elway.
I know it was a moment. It was the 70-20 or 70-30 loss to the Dolphins. That's when there was two shifts passing the nights. The Dolphin was going up, Denver was going down. And Sean Payton just like, okay, I'm
He
clear.
said, "Not today, boys. Not today.
I'm
We are
clear.
not doing this again.
Like I'm clearing the table. Everything's it's a yard sale.
You're
Everything has to
done."
go. Everything has to go. And then the
Yep,
Dolphins just kept going down and down and down and down. And that's actually kind of reminds me. Tyreek Hill's still a free agent.
true.
I know.
I would honestly, I would take Debo over him too. I'm not
Oh,
gonna lie.
oh no. I was okay. I get the last time we saw Tyreek Hill, his leg was going in one direction, but
Please don't remind me.
yeah, Tyreek Hill is still. I would still. I'm surprised the Chiefs haven't picked him up at the moment because they definitely need another pass catcher.
Yeah,
But
true.
I'll
At
still
least a
give
veteran presence, at least.
I'll still give Tyreek like a chance just because I know
Yeah,
Tyreek at his best at this point is better than Debo at his best. I think Tyreek was hampered last year
probably.
in the
Yeah.
past 2 years is because they just didn't have a reliable quarterback play with the Dolphins.
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
so yeah, we got still
Well, they have Malik Willis now. They're saved.
Malik Willis needs to call like a lawyer or something like
That
yo.
was me. That was me being sarcastic, by the way.
I know now this
In
is
case you
me.
guys couldn't tell.
He got to Miami like this is my time. I'm gonna prove I'm
Hey,
deserving this
you know
league.
what? More power to bro. He went to Liberty. I watched him in school. He's cool, man. You know what? You make the most of your opportunity, dude. I wish you nothing but success.
But that's just like, yeah, I'm gonna show them out. I'm gonna show what's going on. Oh, we're training all your players. We're training everyone away. We
You
suck.
have a Chan. That's it. Oh,
Nice. Well, this can't get any worse. Patriots just get AJ Brown. Okay, cool.
well, at least Myles Garrett didn't go to the AFC East. Could
Oh
have
yeah.
been worse.
Yeah, it could have been worse. So yeah, this is and before we go, we doing I guess a somber but special tribute to because we've been talking about receivers since this entire day because Miles Garrett and receivers honestly. One Raven Berry, the great Hall of Fame Colt from the Baltimore Colts, not the Indianapolis Colts. Back in the day, has passed away at 93. He was in terms. We're just going to go old school football now because Raven Berry, he was 50s and early 60s. That was his era. If
I
you
fear that was before my time.
that was before my, I think that was before our parents' time.
It was.
So no, it was just it was a little special drink. I
Yeah.
remember NFL
Rest in
Net,
peace, Raymond.
NFL Network did the top 100 list back in the early 2010s, and he was listed as the 36th best player of all time, which is
Wow.
like I think even in terms of receivers, he was probably number 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Which it'll be interesting if they make that list now. But like before, it was Manning and Harrison in the 2000s. It was Unitas to Raymond Berry, and then after he retired, he actually became the coach, not the coach, the Patriots head coach, and took New England to their first Super Bowl. So
Of course. It's all
yeah,
right. We got Vinatieri. They got Raymond Berry. We got Vinatieri. It worked out. Hey, rhyme.
exactly. Yeah, it did. Which it's just a little. We like doing a little throwback, and when I say a little throwback, I mean the Eisenhower administration throwback.
A lot of throwback is what he's trying to say.
Yeah. So yeah, this has been a day for receivers and Myles Garrett. It's this beginning of June. Training camp is underway or is about to get underway. And we'll be here every step of the way. Chelsea, tell us where they can find us.
Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Tune back in next week for our next episode. In the meantime, follow us on our social media. We are on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Launch Codes Football. We are on X at Launch Codes FB. And if you're interested in discussing all the offseason news that transpired today, hit us up for a link to our Chat BCC chat room where we discuss all things NFL football. In the meantime, I'm Chelsea,
And I'm Daniel.
and we will see you next week.
And let's go, Knicks.